I'm going to teach you all social subject, 9th class, 4th lesson. We are going to enter in a new session, that is pressure belt. Till now I have explained you all about atmosphere. Once we'll recap. Okay, the topic is atmosphere, how it will be changes in our day-to-day life, and next structure of atmosphere. In the structure of atmosphere, we have two broad layers. First one is homosphere, second one is heterosphere. And in that, I have explained you about the picture in the page number 38 briefly. And later on, we will discuss about these various layers based on the density and temperature. In the atmosphere, we have so many layers. First one is troposphere, second one is stratosphere, third one is mesosphere, fourth one is thermosphere, fifth one is exosphere. And these are the 5 important layers in the heterosphere topic. And pressure belts and planetary winds. I explained you about the pressure belts. Air pressure, how the air pressure will come. I said you from my right side the air is coming, left side air is coming. The molecules in the between they will be comes and closes and spreads through in the air. In the planetary winds also I have explained you, and the winds which are high pressure and low pressure. I am going to enter in a new topic, that is pressure belt. Okay, pressure belts. Page number 40. The Earth's surface does not heat uniformly. Land heats up faster than sea. The land which is deep inland heats up faster than the land near the sea. So the air above the land gets heated more quickly. Water takes more time to heat. So the air above water gets heated more slowly. See here. When the sun rises and falling on the earth, the land will be heat very fastly. Where as well in the seas, ocean, seas level, it becomes slowly. Okay, and next, so the air above the land gets heated more quickly. The land will be heated very quickly, and water takes more time to heat, and they get heated very slowly. However, when it comes to cooling, land cools faster and water cools down slower in comparison to land. So the heating and cooling is happening at different rates in different places. Therefore, the pressure are also varying from place to place. Yes. After heating, then the sun sets. After that, the land becomes slowly cooling. In the water place, it cools very fastly. You understand between the heat and cold in the pressure belts? Yes, therefore the pressures are also varying from place to place. In the different types of place to place, in the place there is a land, it heats, it takes time. In the water place, it also takes time. In the land, it heats quickly. In the water place, it will takes time. And for cooling also, water takes quickly and land takes little bit time to cool the land. Thus, even more, you have learned about the relationship between latitudes and seasons. You learned that the tropical latitudes receive the most intense amount of solar radiation and are hotter than temperature, or polar latitudes and receive less intense solar radiation. Hence, the tropics are hotter than the rest of the world. So, with temperature variation, there is pressure variation around the world. See here, how we will get the radiation? Through the sunlight only we will get the radiation. You are all using a mobiles. How it's working? With the help of radiation. Okay, that is very important for each and everything. Radiation is also important part in the pressure belt. And see here, tropical latitude receives the most intense amount of solar radiation. Okay, latitude, tropical latitude. Tropical latitude receives the most amount of solar radiation. Intense amount of solar radiation. Okay, here tropical latitude receives the most intense amount of solar radiation in the pressure belts and are hotter than temperature or polar latitudes that receives less intense solar radiation. Hence, the tropics are hotter than the rest of the world. Here, rest of the world will be very hotter. Just as water moves from a higher place to a lower place and heat moves from warmer objects to closer objects, air moves from areas of higher pressure to areas of lower pressure. When air moves like that, we'll call it wind. Yes, obviously. Wind. If it is in high pressure and low pressure and low pressure and high pressure. If the air moves high and low, low and high, it is called as wind. Okay, it is called as wind. If it moves at a slow pace and we feel comfortable in it, we call it is a breeze. If the wind comes in a short and fast burst, we call it gust. If it moves very fast and blows things around, we call it a storm. Along the Andhra Pradesh coast, we experience cyclones which are very high speed winds. Please underline this line. Pressure belt, 5th paragraph. Full you underline. Why? Because it is very important topic about the wind. I'll repeat the paragraph once again. Just as water moves from higher place to the lower place and heat moves from warmer object to the colder object. See, water moves from high pressure to the low pressure. Why? Because slope is there. Yes? Let us think this is a dam. If the gates are open, the water flows from the upper level to the lower level. And next, warmer objects to cooler objects. And this is, it moves. Heat also. If you burn water, so boil the water in a bowl, it takes time to cool. Yes or no? It takes very lot of time to cool the water. And if it is moves at a slow pace and we feel comfortable in it, we call it as breeze. Okay, it is breeze. What do you mean by breeze? Slow pace to we feel comfortable. If I am comfortable here, I am little bit cool and teaching is very comfortable to me also. Not only to the other teachers. If the wind comes in a short and fast burst, the wind comes short and it bursts. Full of the things will be going to burst. We call it as gust. We call it as gust. It moves very fast and blows things around. We call it a storm. It moves very fast. Then it is called as storm. Along the Andhra Pradesh coast, we experience cyclones which are very high speed. That is called as winds. Andhra Pradesh coast has experienced cyclones that is called as winds. Winds are constantly moving all over the world. At the equator, the high temperature heats up the atmosphere and the hot air rises, creating lower pressure at the Earth's surface around the equator. This low pressure belt, it is like a belt around the Earth, is called equatorial low pressure belt or the intertropical convergence zone, shortened to ITCZ. Underline this page number 41, second line. Intertropical convergence zone. It is shortened to ITCZ. Underline that. And as this air rises, it cools and starts descending. Okay. If it starts, it takes descending order. You know, ascending and descending order. It will be take descending. But it cannot come back from the same path that it took when it went up. As it reaches the higher layers of the atmosphere, the air spreads away from the equatorial region towards northern and southern hemisphere. As it spreads, it also starts descending. It is cooler, denser, and so starts to sink back to earth. Where it descends, we find the pressure is higher, and this phenomenon is called subtropical high pressure belt. Okay, I'm sorry. See here, underline this last line. Where it descends, we find the pressure is higher, and this phenomenon is called as subtropical high pressure belt. And this is a very important topic, and it takes the northern and southern hemisphere. This wind will take the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Having come down, as the air hits the earth's surface, it splits into two parts. One part again rushes towards the equatorial lower pressure area. When they get there, they get heated again and rise. Thus the equatorial cycling of wind continues. Okay, see, listen. Once, having come down, as the air hits the earth, yes, if the air is coming very fastly, compulsory hits the earth. Air is coming fastly and hits the earth, and it splits into two parts. One part again rushes towards the equatorial low pressure area. Later on, it takes the equatorial pressure area, and next, when they get there, they get heated again and rise. Again, after some time, it also passes from one place to another place. The other part is pushed towards the next higher latitude where the pressure is lower. To understand the process better, let us call these winds A. Remember, A is not an official name for these winds. We are using it for convenience. Okay, they have given a name A. It is not a convenience word. Okay, example they have taken. You can use any another word, D, or your name also you can take, or else first one, second one, like this also you can use. And let us see the picture, page number 41, pressure belt and planetary winds. See this? See, this is the high pressure, this is low pressure, high pressure and low pressure. This opposite, high and low, this is the equatorial line. And equatorial low pressure belt, and this is SE trade winds, and this is horse latitudes subtropical high pressure belt prevailing west winds, and this is polar level and pressure belt. It is very low, and see, this is prevailing west lights, and this is subpolar low pressure belt, polar front. Okay, this is the polar eastern side, and this is the western side. And see the picture very carefully, understand, you can easily get the points. Turn your page number 42. The air in the areas near the North Pole and South Pole is so cold, that is air there is at higher pressure. Polar high pressure belt than in the air around the latitudes along the Arctic Circle in the north and the Antarctic Circle in the south. Subpolar lower pressure belt, so the polar winds rush towards these lower pressure areas. There they meet the A winds. Okay, I'll explain you in this picture briefly. See, this is a projectile fired northward, projectile fired southward. Okay, this is north side and this is the south side. This is expected path and this is actual path. And see here in the middle of this, we have given a part like it's looking like a bottle, and its pressures will be very high. Air pressure will be high. This is the actual path and this is expected path. And here low pressure we are not taking anything. Why? Because this is the north side, northward. And go to the next picture. And this is the southward. The middle line, it is looking like a bottle, right side. It takes two arrow marks. One is expected and one is actual path. And diagram showing Coriolis effect. Okay, this has, you have seen about this. Okay, very carefully observe. And next, normally we would have expected the winds to move in a straight line from north to south or south to north from the temperature zone to the tropic zone. Remember that temperature zones are there both to the south and the north of the equator, but actually the winds move slightly to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. This is because of the impact of Earth rotation on its own axis. This effect is called Coriolis effect, having zero effect near the equator and maximum effect near the poles. Okay, here they are taking the North Pole and South Pole. Okay, this is North Pole. Let us think this is the North Pole and this is the South Pole. Okay, the line passes from the North Pole to the South Pole. It is a straight line from north to south or south to north. Temperature zone is called as tropic zone. Okay, from here to here or else here to there, it is called as tropic zone. The line passes from one place to another place. And this effect is called as Coriolis effect. This effect is called as Coriolis effect. Thus, the atmosphere is always surrounding the earth on all sides in circulation. The winds play a very important role in the weather and climate patterns around the world. They have also played a very important role in history. For example, Vasco da Gama found the sea route to find using winds to power his ships. He was able to transport and trade large quantities of pepper, cinnamon, etc. to Portugal because of this. In this way, these winds also were circular to the establishment of the Portuguese rule over Goa. Remember, there are also many small local variations in the wind patterns. See here, with the help of winds, they have found the route from the sea level, that is called as Vasco da Gama. And with the help of winds only, they have went from one place to another place. With the help of winds only, we have find the route. Okay, that is Vasco da Gama. Okay, this with the help of the wind. See the wind, how much they has helped us to find the route sea of Vasco da Gama. And okay, I'll stop till here. Once go through the lesson which I have explained you till page number 42. Page number 40, 41 and 42. I have explained you about this picture. See carefully, and the second picture also I have explained you. Go thorough with this and easily you can get the points. If you are having doubts, don't hesitate. Please ask me. I'll definitely give you the answers. Thank you children. Have a nice day.